Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am PANCZASU and welcome back to my Unfallen tutorial slash playthrough. Now that we are at war with the Lumeris, I had to stop for a second to remember their names. Oh well, I don't really care about who I killed, I just care about killing, as it turns out. But yeah, now let's deal with the things we need to deal with. So the audio you have a message, but that doesn't matter. What's more important is that we completed our faction quest, got something that we'll probably never ever get to use, but looks kind of interesting nevertheless. And then we have a new faction, state of the faction quest, which you can read right now even without pausing the video because of how little text there is. As a reward, we can get Heart's Ward. Now, this is pretty much a slightly worse version of this shield. Yeah, actually, in fact, it's more than just slightly worse version. So, this shield is 50 health bonus, 400 shoot capacity, and some extra energy defense. So as you can see, this is actually way worse now that I look at it. It is cheaper to construct, and technically speaking, if you rush with your faction quest, you can get it earlier as well. But we probably will not ever need that. Besides, our shields are fine as they are. Alternatively, we can get Heart's Hammer, which is a short range only beam, which does have some decent damage per second at the cost of only 2 Hyperion, which is not bad, and it would be also very easy to complete considering the amount of manpower we currently have. This is also extremely easy to complete because you basically need to be at an alliance with a faction to get it as easily, and I'm pretty sure because of my current diplomatic relation with Riftborn, I could get it instantly. But Heart's Ward is almost certainly going to be useless for me. Heart's Hammer, on the other hand, is only probably going to be useless for me. So I'm going to go for control, and then I'm going to wait for the faction quest to end. Now we also got another wild event, random event, which I'm going to use in order to increase the scientists' political ideology because I want them to stay in the government, because scientists would be very, very helpful during the course of this war. I've got a new carrier ready, so let's go ahead and attach it to my fleet. Nice and easy, merged, no problemo. We have spot for one more ship, only one more ship for the time being, and it's gonna take a while before we can get any more ships than what we currently have. And I just realized I did not include any light ships in this fleet, so we're probably gonna want to have a light ship at some point in the future, but right now it's not really that important. In fact, right now I'm probably just going to go ahead and send this fleet off without even filling the last spot we have over there, because there's really almost barely any reason to do that. Now meanwhile, let's go ahead and construct the fabrication license on my plants, which I have just gotten from the tech, which I started doing years ago, but then I stopped, and only recently I did queue it up back again. So this is going to be a very, very powerful tech, increasing our industry production to nearly endless levels, so let's be entirely frank about this. And by endless, yes, I do mean those endless that died a long time ago, those fools dying. That's so last year, that being dead. Man, I cannot believe they did that. That's really stupid of them, but oh well. I'll not poke fun of them. Now, there is something I want to experiment with, because I did ask the devs if it's a bug that Towers, I cannot capture Towers, I send a save file and whatnot, and by the time you see this video I'll know the answer. But I have a feeling it might be because the devs in their last patch before release decided to change the Unfallen and require you to entwine minor factions before you can take them over. Which is a bit annoying that they didn't tell me that, or any of us, because I was under the impression that the Unfallen worked as they did before. So that's unfortunate. I probably led you down the wrong path if that is the case, but it's also possible that this is just a bug and that I cannot capture them for whatever reason. Anyway, let's go ahead and declare a battle. The enemy is obviously gonna run away, but I'll still toggle on watch option just in case they decided to not run away. They didn't! Oh wow, that was actually unexpected. Then again, now, I did somehow had a feeling that since the fleet is smaller, they'll actually stay in and fight. It doesn't make any sense, mind you. But still, that's exactly what they did. Maybe they have different ships now. I didn't check what their gear is. Anyway, now we actually have some, you know, battle that is worthwhile to watch. So I'll let auto camera do its job. We'll see how good the auto camera really can be. And in next battles, I'll try to use overview camera and free camera as well, because Yeah, auto camera is oftentimes not the best when it comes to showing you the coolest stuff. This is probably the biggest problem the developers had with Space 2 and 1 for that matter as well. And yeah, right now I would want to see the old view, not the one that I switched to. Also, why does it focus camera on the smallest ships? I don't get that either. Oh well, now however we got a bit of a cooler screen and I can sip my tea, gulp my tea down, or however else you want to call it. Houston, we've got a problem. It's a little bit too strong. It's green tea, by the way. But it looks like I used a little bit too much of it. And which is not technically speaking bad. And because it's too strong, I could also just, you know, perhaps some more water and add it to this tea. And that way it should still be fine. In fact, it should improve potentially. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, we still have plenty of ships to destroy, which we're gonna deal with in a moment. Research to queue up. I'm going to go for the Mega Risk Containment for the very simple reason that I want to start capturing quadrinics. I'm not sure what I'm gonna use it for just yet. There are very few upgrades that actually require quadrinics. It's almost an obsolete research. Don't get me wrong, once you do use things that require quadrinics, you're gonna be using some extremely powerful things. But for us, the only thing I can think of really is distributed energy, for which I would also need to have orichalcisks, or however I'm supposed to pronounce that thing. But there are also other things that you need. For example, if I wanted to go science heavy, battlefield archaeology would definitely help me with that really great deal. Additionally, there are some great weapons, but I'm not really specializing in energy weapons, so I would rather have orichalcisks than quadrinics. But for the time being, it's going to be fine. It has its uses. I just want to start gathering just in case I need it later. Besides, hazardous mining facility for even more industry. Man, sign me up. Also, you might be wondering why I'm not going for Way of the Endless. Well, basically, it looks amazing, and I know it is in most scenarios. And if I lose the support of the pacifist faction, I'll definitely go for the Wealth of the Endless in order to make up for the lost FTSE on my systems. But right now, the amount of FTSE bonus I would get from Wealth of the Endless is lesser than the FTSE bonus I get from my right thing rule, which is kind of ridiculous, honestly. This shows the power of the right thing rule, and it might need to be nerfed as well. However, the other things that are in here, star system trade value and dust inflation, I don't care about all that much, because they're related to trading, and I'm not really doing that, am I? So there is that. Also, have I discovered some more luxury resources that I'm gathering? No, I have not, which is kind of annoying and shameful, really. Sad, not shameful. It's not necessarily shameful to not discover something. But either way, as for you, ice cream, what on earth will I do with you? I will make you happier, I guess, because ice cream should always bring happiness. I don't get why it wouldn't. I would love to eat ice cream now as well. I think last video I had the same problem. Yeah, I did. And I didn't eat ice cream since then. Ah, that's a bummer. Let's end the 10 and think about how sad we are that we were not able to eat ice cream. And as we do that, I'm going to sip some more tea because my throat is unusually sore. So I need to fix that. I don't get it. When I was binge recording, my throat basically didn't hurt at all. Now this is just a video I'm recording and it does have fat. Fat? What on earth does mean fat? I meant to say hat. Oh well, I'm pretty sure I don't want any of the other Supreme technologies because this one is by far the best of them all. Although I only really care about the extra 16% industry on system. Dust is nice, sure, and food we have no use of whatsoever. But there is that. Also, I changed diplomatic value with somebody and the Cravers wanted to say something but I ignored them. The Hives lives for war, never fears, but we fight another friend. We'll meet you in battle soon. Oh wait, we are at war! Ah! Oh, that's right, because they declared war on the Riftborn and I'm allied with the Riftborn. And oh wow. Hi there, Riftborn are having a bit of a skirmish right there, and I'm not sure how well the Riftborn are going to be able to proceed. Although, Craver ships are kind of bad. They do have a Butcher, although it's again a close range. Everything they have is close range. So the Riftborn should do quite well, especially since they also have a very big fleet over here, with Cyphers in the mix as well, so yeah, I think they should be fine as long as they stand up to the Cravers, and I hope they will. I don't want Cravers to eat systems, it's way more important to have systems that are free of Cravers, otherwise it would be awful. Sorry for that cough. I just decided I needed to cough, alright? Don't blame me for that, it just happens sometimes. to most people. Anyway, let's go ahead and grab some more fabrication licenses everywhere I can, because there is no reason not to. And why? Teeth and skin, again, require my attention. You guys always do. It's kind of annoying. Have you stopped for just a second to considering what I'm feeling? Also, I need to deal with those manufacturers, but for the time being, I was unable to do so, which is somewhat irritating. I will make you happier for the time being, I suppose. And just to make sure that you don't interrupt me again, dear sir, I'm going to make you work on something that will take you far longer than it's worth the effort, like, for example, fabrication licenses. Alrighty then. Now on Byte, I'm going to go ahead and make myself just a single light ship and have it follow over there to Skin and Taurus in order to protect my ship, my Vine ship that is, and I'll finish the movement of all my stuff that I currently have moving. And you just say you can also go to Spica and you can fight over there against the enemies now. But let's see if they will run away again. Or rather, they actually not again. Last time they didn't run away, and they didn't run away this time either. And in fact, they have enough ships to go for 3 flotillas, which is good for them. The downside of the fact that they still decided to attack is the fact that, well, I'm going to crush them horribly. So, last time we tried for auto camera. Let's go for overview camera for a change. This shows you exactly how our ships and fleets are moving, but I suppose you know that now, since Endless Space 2 must have came out already in your timeline. Either way, in case you don't own Endless Space 2 yet and want to watch more of my video before you decide if you want to buy it or not, here's basically how it goes. Ships are going to start attacking each other now, and we're not really going to be able to hear what's happening, but we'll definitely be able to see that, and this ship certainly didn't have the best time it could have. So, it's a very simplified view. If you were to zoom in with free camera, we would see more stats. This just shows you generally what is happening on the battlefield, which is important in larger battles, especially in multiplayer. In single player, you generally speaking don't need to worry yourself too much about what is happening on the battlefield. But in multiplayer, you just sometimes want to know what is happening and which one of your flanks is doing better and which one of your flanks is doing worse, in order to better prepare for the future engagements against humans. I, however, don't really have those kind of problems because it's AIs and I'm crushing them because they're using the wrong kind of weapons against me. So, my hero level up. Nice, I'll drink some tea in celebration. Oh, I forgot it's gonna be bitter. Oh well. Still, it was nice to drink it. Now, we could... I'm not sure if I showed you in this series yet or not. I certainly did in the last one, but you can also go into advanced options in order to see exactly what happened during the battlefield. So it never reached phase 2, it was stuck on phase 1, which is why none of the enemy ships ever even got to fire. And this shows you exactly how well we did when it comes to attacking. The enemy never attacked me because they installed stupid weapons on the ships that are not fit for this combat. Meanwhile, I can see that I dealt a lot of damage with kinetics. I dealt even more damage by missiles, and I even managed to inflict critical damage with my missiles, although that damage was negligible. And I also missed quite a bit, although not that by that much, honestly. Oh no, that was the amount that they absorbed with the hull plating. I missed the second amount of damage that they absorbed, but still, even though they are using hull plating, which, as you can see, it is actually quite helping quite a bit. It almost negated all of my kinetics, but still, I dealt enough damage to kill them all. So I don't really need to modify any of my ships. I can just murder them, and now I certainly have what it takes in order to crush the enemies on the ground. So I'm going to go ahead and use the guerrilla warfare, because, as I said, I want to save my military for the later conquests. So I'm going to use guerrilla warfare in order to conserve myself. Also, the enemy AIs tend to use guerrilla tactics, or whatever it's called, not conscription, revolution, I don't remember. We're gonna see it probably in a moment what they used. They used a different stuff. Anyway, as the defender, you have the ability to sacrifice one of your population in order to conscript them into military and suddenly gain extra military. And the best way to deal with that is going for guerrilla tactics, because this means that even though the enemies have more military than you expected, your troops are still going to do relatively well. And you're not going to lose too many of them. In fact, I only lost 5 tanks. The enemy only lost 6 tanks, but also a lot of infantry. And the fact that they're using infantry is going to hurt them a lot. Because now, next battle, they're not going to deploy 14 tanks, probably. Actually, they will deploy 14 tanks, I think, because they cannot reinforce. But maybe they won't. I will see that in next turn actually exactly what happens. I think they will not be able to deploy 14 tanks because some of the tanks will be swapped into infantry and this is going to hurt them a major deal. Also, since the enemy is using a lot of armor units, I think I should actually use some air units myself. But I'm not gonna change any of my settings just yet. So there's that done. Lumières are losing, there's pretty much no denying that. I just hope that the Rivet Bomb will hold their own. If they don't, I will send my main fleet over there to help them with the Cravers. Right now there's no need to do that. With my hero, I can send my supporting fleet there very quickly, but honestly, right now I don't have to care. I just want to conquer the Lumières as quickly as humanly possible. Now, I'll give this guy some more industry production because industry is nice. Wait for the changes to be applied because it takes a while. Come on. There we go, you managed to do that. And the enemy... Oh no, we are attacking. And as you can see, yeah, actually didn't tell us yet what's the tank situation on the enemy front, but we'll see in a moment. And the enemy tanks... They actually had 16. Oh, because they did go for conscription. So yeah, that actually shows that they must have... Hey, go away, tooltip. They must have less... They must have had less than 14 tanks. Had they not gone for conscription, we would have seen this. Because, again, these tanks would turn into regular infantry to make sure that the balance, percentage value between the two is exactly the same as set in the military tab. Which is why I hate using infantry for pretty much anything. Now, in this battle I only lost 3 tanks and the enemy was... Yeah, they didn't do very well, did they? Let's continue our battle. And the enemy is... Wait a second, what? Oh, they snuck a single ship over at ice cream and they want to eat my ice cream. Which is actually really, really annoying. Like, extraordinary. So, I do have fairly decent army. I mean, I have tanks, but I don't actually have a lot of them. So, I am going to go for conscription, and I'll try to hold out for the time being, and hope that they will not be able to capture my system instantly. I doubt that they will, and indeed they were not. I do have some very powerful ships. And besides, I did use conscription, which is great at buying you more time. So with that done, I'm going to send one of my fleets rather, back in order to make sure that this thing doesn't happen again. Okay, so I should have made it so that some of my carriers stay with my main fleet, because you probably would have wanted to see them fight, but oh well, it's now a bit too late for that, isn't it? So let's let that battle finish. And yeah, this has a victory because the enemy got away, so you can also get away to Spike when you can, or whenever you can. And you just also attack this fleet that just arrived, and let's watch the battle again, because my throat really hurts and I need to drink. And besides, we haven't had the opportunity to watch too many battles yet, have we? So yeah, we need to make up for that, don't we? Let's go for free camera. Let's follow this ship because it might survive the longest. Actually, no, I think. Let's go for overview camera. And then free camera, and yes, this ship will survive the longest. I believe because it's in the flank that last time survived the longest. We can also go ahead and turn on tactical display to see exactly what is happening. But the thing that is happening is, well, the enemy is taking some severe damage. That's all that is happening. They do have some flag defense, which is nice. This explains exactly why this ship is able to survive for this long. And actually, yeah, it is using flag. This is something I meant to check earlier. So the enemy have switched around, but now it is a battle of my flag and missiles versus their flag, or rather kinetics. In which case, I would say that they have better weapons, actually. Since their weapons are more efficient, I'm losing some of the efficiency from my missiles, but at the same time, I can hit the enemy with my long-range missiles from far away. Ooh, that was a nice explosion. I like that, but still, it is important to zoom in just now because this lets me realize that the enemy have decided to swap their weapons, which is very important and good to know. Now there is the kinetics in combination with apparently some of the bzz weapons. Is it going to matter all that much? In fact, it will not matter whatsoever. I still have way more powerful ships, as you have just seen for yourself. So I'm not terribly concerned with that, but I could also plan my future upgrades with that in mind. And I certainly will. In fact, I could swap Hurricane around. No, I will not make any changes yet, but once I can, I'll probably try to swap into Advanced Game Fury, with advanced positron beams and advanced hell ray lasers, and then go for structured artillery as well in order to be extremely powerful when it comes to non-material weapons, and this should make the enemy really terrified of me. Anyway, there's that done. Let's go ahead and end the 10 and see what is going to happen on the next one. My throat still hurts. Why is that the case? I wish it didn't. I really wish it didn't. Then it would be nice, but it does hurt and it makes me sad. Also, just noticed, I think the enemy managed to unroot the vines that were on Spica, because I could swear that they were vines on Spica. Anyway, Ice Cream now suddenly got Haroshems, which is nice. Doesn't really matter, but oh well. Spica is about to be conquered by my guerrilla tactics, and Ice Cream is being attacked by a non-existent army. So let's just protect it and everything should be fine. I say non-existent because the enemy ship did retreat, so yeah, this will be a one battle. Anyway, Breakers managed to assimilate a faction, good for them. I don't really particularly care about that thing. And over there we have, which system was that? Spica? Yeah, it was Spica. And then we have Ice Cream, which again was a victory for obvious reasons, with the enemy no longer being able to support the troops from orbit. Luxury prices increase, and looks like PANCZASU might still be in the lead, with Sanders being in the 3rd place, which is really nice. If it keeps it up like this, I'll support the scientists during the voting, just to make sure that they stay in the Senate, which would be really, really important. Now, let's merge those two fleets together, because I want to see a big battle with my carriers in the mix, because that would be really lovely to look at. So, let's go ahead and move the needles over to this fleet. Okay, let's move one needle to this fleet, and let's create a new fleet with the other needles, I suppose. And actually, you know what? Okay, for the time being, light ship there, just to make things easier. Carry over here, just one maybe, because I do like the amount of fire ships I have. It's... Then again, if I get rid of a fire ship like that, I will be able to add in a 2nd carrier, which will be... Oh wait, not yet. Let's get rid of you as well, add in the 2nd carrier, like so. And then I'll be able to input one needle into the mix as well, which I'm not too keen on right now. This fleet doesn't have enough ships to fuel truly epic, actually. So what I'll do is I'll remove one carrier, add it to the other fleet, and then I'll add the fire ship and the light ship in there as well. I don't need 2 light ships, do I? No, I don't. So let's add another fire ship in its place, and then the needle as well. And this way I'll have a light ship and a carrier in this fleet as well, but still rely on the fire ships and have a needle just for show, I suppose. Which is going to be good enough. Also, the enemy... Ah, this is the ship that is running away. Alright, that's good. Let's go ahead and declare a battle. And this time, I'm pretty sure the enemy will not run away, because they are here to stay. And also, they have frigates. The strategic frigates, which is good to know. I actually haven't noticed that before. But yes, the ship I zoomed in the last fight was also a frigate. Only now I realized. Which means that I should now rely more on light ships, because light ships are the counter to frigates, as I was saying so many times before, because frigates are hunters. So I have to keep that in mind. Right now it doesn't matter still, because the enemy ships are still have very negligible, I cannot pronounce that. Anyway, are of minuscule power when compared to my navy. So let's go ahead and check exactly what we have set up. I mean, obviously, I don't want my carrier to be in the flank, which is middle range. I want him to be in long range and rain death upon the enemy. Then we have a fire ship and a needle as well in there to help those guys out. And I'll also add another fire ship in there and have the light ship. Where do I want to have the light ship? Actually, I want the light ship to be in the middle range, because it will be pretty good at picking on the enemy's hunter ship. Which means that USA will go to the medium range, I suppose. It's not the worst at the medium range. Yeah, it's a bit better than the needle, isn't it? No, it's exactly as good as the needle is, except it's a better ship in general. So I'll keep it in there. Again, a huge emphasis on my center flank, and then let's add one needle to my least important flank, just so that there's more than one ship in there. I never like to keep just one ship on a flank unless it's a carrier, because this makes it too vulnerable. Now there's a chance that one of those ships will take the damage for the other one, which is always a good thing in my honest opinion. So let's go ahead and fight. Hopefully the enemy will not run away, because if... Cry out loud, I just said hopefully the enemy won't run away. Why do you get into the system when you run away? Oh well, we'll declare the attack with the other fleet, I suppose. And probably this time the enemy will not run away, but regardless, we still need to set things up. So carrier obviously is going to stay there, and we'll have Eurus as like so on the flank, and the center is going to be strongest like so. Alright, and this time the enemy will not run away. Am I right? No, they did run away. They're just completely terrified of me at this point. I cannot necessarily blame them. It's possible that they decided to run away because I have taken over Spica. Anyway, as you can see now, Spica is again enrooted because it was right next to my root network or vine network when I captured it. So this is exactly what I was talking about earlier. So now I'm going to continue my onslaught of the enemy and go ahead and grab... I could grab Shaddai, which is nice, but I also really want to have the enemy's capital because it's probably the most productive one. So taking it over will be a decisive blow to the enemy. And that's what I normally would do if this game was more serious, but right now I'm pretty certain I'm going to win this game regardless. So I want to give the enemy a chance to recreate their fleets and strike back at me. So for that reason I'll leave Zurin or Chuin at the enemy's control, but I'll still keep my secondary fleet at Spica because I can see the enemy is sending a fleet to potentially try to retake it. Alright then, with all of that done, I still cannot take over this system, which is annoying. Probably a bug, I'm pretty sure it is now. And as for you, dear say, you have nothing you can do for me, so just go ahead and research some science for no reason. And you just give me some more influence, and that's again all you can do for the time being, because... I mean, don't get me wrong, Byte, I love you, you're one of my better systems, if not the best system I have, but... No, actually Fleischer is better, but still, Byte is certainly a very, very good one. Mega Area's containment to be finished from 110. I don't care about capturing any of those guys, besides I can't, because I don't have a vine network over there, but I can capture Asellus. And there's no reason not to expand my vine network over there. And I certainly should do something of the sort. So I will. And with that in mind, I believe I have finished everything I needed to do this turn. I can sign an alliance with the Vodiani. Again, I don't want them to help me in this war just yet, so I'll probably hold on for a little bit longer. It would increase my Fitzy output, but again, I don't think I need the extra Fitzy just yet. Besides, Vodiani might make for really nice future targets. Just saying. I'm not saying I will backstab them and murder them horribly, but it's also not beyond the realm of possibility. Alright, Spica, Spica, Spica. A lot of colonial exchanges and a lava to be colonized. Let's colonize the lava for the time being, because right now the system is mutinous, because I just captured it, but colonization efforts always take the same amount of time regardless. So while I'm capturing a new planet, just will let those guys cool down a little bit and accept the fact that they are now under my dictatorship. I mean, we are technically speaking a democracy, so it's not really a dictatorship. I'm just making it work that way. Anyway, we are actually losing quite a bit of manpower as a result of me having to fill up the manpower in Ice Cream and Spica, and also in my fleets, because keep in mind that now those carriers at Spica are refilling the troops that they lost in an invasion. So that's an important thing to keep in mind. A lot of notifications. Things are moving along and whatnot, but that's okay. Let's see, what do we have? We have got a hero who needs to have his stuff sorted out, which I just did. Discovered a nebula cloud, which is kind of meaningless for us at this stage of the game.
With you are a source of joy and hope for the church.
That's nice for you to say that, but I just was discussing with my viewers the possibility of stabbing him in the back. So, you know, I hate stabbing people in the back. I like to warn them about the fact that I'm going to murder them. In fact, that's the same thing I do in multiplayer as well, oftentimes. People always suspect that I'm going to be the evil backstabber and whatever. But I oftentimes am not. I like being, you know, the good guy. Also, this is... Okay, I just bugged the game out. So, I just captured Taurus because I finished the quest for the Taurus. Because I got the Lumeris population. But the thing is, it's now not in the Vine network because I started expanding my Vine network as I was capturing it. So that's an interesting bug. I didn't expect to see it, and... Oh, Ice Cream again? How did you get there in the first place? Oh no, it's still the same battle, huh? Okay, that's strange. I thought the enemy would have died out by now, but I guess they didn't. Oh well. Still, what do I need to worry myself with? There is a battle at Ice Cream, which again, I'll just protect the system, thank you very much. Towers, towers, towers. What do you have installed? I'm kind of... Nothing! Usually they have something installed, so it's really strange that they do not have anything whatsoever. It's also kind of a crappy system, but then again, it's gonna give me more spots, I suppose. So I'll let you give me, first of all, more production, because otherwise you will be really crappy, and I'll speed it up because I have pretty much infinite amounts of money. And I will give you the level 2 modernization and then colonize things, because I want my trees to grow where you live. Which doesn't sound menacing, but trust me, it should, because I'm treants. So yeah, be scared, please. Anyway, let's have this secondary fleet destroy a frigate, because why not? No reason to watch that, even if they don't retreat. And as for you, I could invade the system right away, because it is within the range of my Naval network, but I think that will be a difficult fight, even though my tanks are more powerful than the enemies. Because, yeah, I don't have that much manpower in this fleet anymore. So I'll just wait for a little bit. Again, I'm not in a rush, I'm winning this game, even if I were not at war. If I were in a rush, then I probably would have started the invasion and then sent in some more ships to support my ships, but I don't need to do that right now. Anyway, Mega's containment is done, giving me access to really good improvement, as well as the ability to mine quadrinics, which I do personally enjoy. Now, I could, in theory, go ahead and try to grab myself some extra science discoveries, which I am tempted to do, but it's too late now. Election will start next turn, or at the end of this turn, so I cannot do anything to support the scientists. I just have to hope that they will win on their own merits for the time being. So what I'll do is retrofit the light ships, because now that the enemy is using hunters, the light ships go back into the game. Besides, light ships use antimatter, which suddenly now I have more than I have adamantium, which I'm not sure how it happened, but it did, so I'm going to utilize that, or use that fact to my advantage. So, is there anything else I need to do? Yes, because flesh has infinite production, but it can go for hazardous yes, it can go for hazardous mining facility. I was just making sure if there are plants that fit that, and I'll go for the same thing on every system that has access to not industry but strategic resources, because it's rather important. Also, Skin is still being besieged by 2 tiny little puny positrons, which is somewhat annoying. I think that they might have come here to stay, so I'll send in my light ship in order to deal with that. My Viant ship is expanding over to Taurus, which I have already expanded to, which still makes no sense. And the turn has ended. So, as I said, I'll support the scientists, because I'm pretty sure pacifists and militarists should win. Hopefully the pacifists will win. I don't care about militarists being the lead, I just want to have them somewhere in the Senate, not in the lead. So, let's support the scientists and see how things go. And as we look, I'm going to drink some tea. You know what is helping us a great deal? It's the fact that we captured Spica, which is a Lumeris-dominated system, and Lumeris are predominantly pacifists. They don't shy away from militarism, mind you, but they do mostly enjoy pacifism, so that's how I am able to keep pacifists in power. If, for example, I just invaded and conquered a Kraber system, militarists probably would have risen to power had I not done something to stop that. So that's something that you definitely need to consider. Depending on who you conquer, your government will change, because everybody you take into slavery, I mean, give citizen rights, gains also voting rights, which means that they will vote for whatever they feel like them voting for. Anyway, Lumeris are dying out. Do I care? Nope. And our objective has been completed. We have access to Hans Hammer. Sorry for that. Which again is not something I necessarily care about, because it's basically already obsolete, but it's good to know that I have access to it, I suppose. Now, you can read that out, and it's something you probably should. Or shouldn't, it doesn't matter. Either way, we now know what hard is for the most part. And we can go for either fire forming, which, by the way, we're talking about the last stages of our faction quest. So either way, I can reach the 4th stage in one of the quadrants of the technology tree. I would unlock this instantly. Or I can go ahead and try to terraform a hardfire into a jungle monsoon plant. That would be more difficult to do and would require some amount of effort from me. Either way, I personally am going to go ahead and go for fire and finish off my quests. Thank you very much. And this will be finished on the next turn. So there's that done, and now I can just go ahead and finish the movement of all my ships, and there's nothing I can deal with on Spica, but there is a fleet that is awaiting its annihilation on Shaddai, so let's see if I can. Well, first of all, let's murder civilians. Yes, that's my school. Yeah, good boy, that's exactly what I taught you, my dear commanders. And, oh, there's that enemy that tried to run away from me. and for no reason, because they could have fought me and potentially even maybe dealt some damage. I wonder if they will fight now. I guess we'll find out. Let's go for barrage fire again and see if they stay in fight. They did not and decided to lose their ships instead. I do not understand what the AI's logic is behind this. Now, the cool thing, and I probably should tell you about this, if you are wondering what the AI is thinking, in my position, and you are playing in single player, what you can do is alt-tab away from the game, go into your browser, and connect to Unfallen, as in the game's AI. And yes, you can actually connect to the game's AI, literally, when the game is open and you're not in any menus. It takes a while to load up, and it takes even longer for you to understand what is shown on the screen, but it basically shows you exactly what the game is thinking about, which is a very interesting tool, a very powerful tool for you to learn exactly what is happening with how game's brain operates. Alright, so with that done, I can now finish one last research in order to give myself access to more laws, which I will do, because that's very useful. It also gives me access to obelisks of all space-time, which will be very difficult to create, but I might do that if I feel like it. Anyway, for the time being, I might go, let's see, what kind of tech do I care about the most? Well, since I am a warmonger, I'm just going to go for low temperature research, because hey, why not? And after I'm done with that, I'm probably gonna focus on the military quadrant again, just to have access to some better endgame weapons. So with that done, I'm going to go ahead and retrofit my light ships so that they can utilize their newest sources of power. So, now that I have access to lots of new toys, actually I don't have access to new toys, I only will once I change them in the military screen, but for the time being, I'll still use this ship as a support ship for the most part, I believe. I haven't unlocked any new utility upgrades yet, so I'll just keep it as it is for the time being, I guess. Although I could also give you extra firepower, because you are meant to add some extra firepower. In fact, you know what I'll do? I'll cancel this ship design, and I'll make this... I will not cancel this ship design. I'll keep this ship as a support ship for the time being, I think. And in order to keep it as a support ship, I will later on add some more modules into it. For the time being, I will not change it. However, I'll create a new light ship. So first of all, light class. We're gonna call it... how do we call it? Body. I don't know why body. That was the first thing that came into my mind right now. And now we're going to make this ship our main damage-dealing ship. So first of all, it's gonna need an engine in order to keep up with the rest of our fleet. And then we're gonna give it a lot of kinetic enhancers. Actually, not here, because this will be more important for a weapon. Although, will it be? This will be an interesting experiment. I'm pretty sure this will benefit from a weapon the most, but firstly, let's check. We're gonna install a big gun as a kinetic, and then as many missiles as possible, which is only 3 right now. This gives us 2064 military power. But if I give you another kinetic enhancer here, yeah, that would drop our military power significantly. So yeah, let's just keep this guy as it is right now. It's still a considerable amount of military firepower, and he will be very good at dealing with enemy hunters. Also, I think I'm going to give him an extra kinetic, maybe on the side? No, yes, maybe on the side. So that it will be better at dealing with the enemy ships, because keep in mind, the enemy has switched from close range weapons into kinetic, so I don't want to overdo it with missiles. I could even go for Hat's hammer, but that's 38 damage at close range. That's 19 damage at long range, and that's 32 damage at long range. So, you know, I don't think I'm gonna go for Hat's hammer. Although if I were to make this ship a close range ship, I could try to go for Hat's hammer. And save a bit of titanium in the process as well, I suppose. I don't really care about saving anything, though, I have to be entirely honest with you. But having a beam would be cool, wouldn't it? So let's go ahead and check out what is going to happen now, because this ship has kinetic enhancers. What am I even thinking about? Let's not do anything cute. Let's just play it properly. And I think we're gonna give it one more improved plating, because the enemy is still using projectiles. I mean, now he's using projectiles. They weren't using it before, but either way, as I explained in the past, I care mostly about the extra health bonus. Apply the changes nice and easy, and we have a new light class available at our disposal. Now, as for the old light class, I can still retrofit it, and I will, because there is no reason not to. Because, again, more weapons is fun. So I'll give you that, I'll give you the missiles, and I'll give you the extra plating as well to make you better. Apply the changes nice and easy. And I'll retrofit all the ships in the fleet that I can retrofit. As for you, they said I cannot retrofit you, so that's fine. Woe and Thief both require new build orders, and I really need to learn how to live on Arctic planets, but that's, I guess, not something I'll be able to deal with just yet, is it? Anyway, you just say go ahead and go for hazardous mining facilities. I just realized how hungry I am. I'm really, really hungry. I would love to eat something. Oh well, not before we end this video. And in fact, this video has been going for a while. Not very long yet. I'm not ending it just yet. But that's good because it means I'll be able to eat soon. So I'm really excited about this prospect. I would love to eat. Also, I just realized my phone is muted, but okay, nobody called me. I am awaiting a call, which is why I checked. Alright, do you say you have leveled up? What do I really want to give you? Honestly, not much. I guess even more industry production. And we have just met Horatio, which is nice because I'll be able to sign a peace treaty with them.
Fortune smiles.
Yes, the fortune does smile indeed, and now I have access to fire farming, which is nice. Before we do anything or end this video or whatever, let's do the most important things that I need to do before I forget. So firstly, yes, Vodiani are at Cold War? Why are you at Cold War?
Our relations with you are
Okay, they are just scared. Why? Because they are stronger than we are, or because I am stronger than they are? No, because I am stronger than they are, I see. So they're just scared for their lives. That's stupid. If you're scared of me, you should stay at peace with me, definitely. Also, I'm not that close to your border, for crying out loud. That's really weird by you, but whatever. Let's expand my vines for the time being. And let's talk with the Horatio, because I want more friends. So, firstly, Horatio, where on earth are you? There you are. So, first of all, I'm gonna introduce myself.
Your contact with us brings more worry than joy.
Oh, I'll bring you a lot of joy, because you, dear sir, are lucky enough to be far away from me.
Galaxy again?
And because you're far away from me, I'm very tempted to be allied with you, because then you will give him lots of benefits, and I will give you no benefits in return, which sounds like a lovely deal, wouldn't you agree? I'll even give you 20 Hyperion, which you have no access to whatsoever, so you would love me for that. Yes, he will. He's gonna... I mean, it's Horatio, he probably won't lick my shoes, but it's nice to have another ally. So, I'm all ally, he doesn't even know my name. Anyway, he is distressed. Why?
Lack of refinement.
Oh, because he needs help apparently. Why does he need help? Is he at war? It doesn't look like he is at war. Unless the Vodiani are... Oh, he's at war with the Vodiani, isn't he? Yes, they are. Oops. Oh well, I don't care. I was planning to backstab them later, so I'm happy it just sort of happened by itself. What else do we have? Have we discovered any other faction? No, we have not. But we have discovered some more galaxy, which will boost the support for the scientist faction, which is rather important. I'm really shocked we have not discovered the orange player though. Oh no, we have, it just didn't give us a notification that we did. We also discovered the cell phones, which is good. Let's negotiate with them as well.
Why are you knocking around?
Actually, I can request alliance with them, which wouldn't be bad necessarily, because again, I think they're very far away, and it looks like they are as far away from me as possible, because I did see that United Empire is close to Horatio, which means that they are potential targets for my empire. So, dear Sophones, you are the lucky ones, the chosen ones that will be able to be allied with me. I'll give you whole 20 titanium for being allied with me. Oh wow, you love that idea, don't you? That's if I were to give them hundreds of titanium, but 20 is not enough? You greedy bastards, have 40 then. Will that be enough to satisfy you unquenchable thirst for titanium? Will that help your science progress? Will it let me build GLaDOS? Apparently it will. So GLaDOS will be made, and I believe this is the cap of our alliance. Because I'm pretty sure I will not be able to request alliance from anybody else at this point. Alright, I discovered plenty of planets, I discovered plenty of manufacturers, and our alliance is now extremely powerful. And the Sophones will support us in our wars, and United Empire is at war. Wow. So we have now allied with half of the galaxy and are at war with the rest of the galaxy. The good news is the rest of the galaxy isn't united and my part of the galaxy is united. So this is a really amusing situation to find myself in. Also, it suddenly looks like the Sophones are winning a war against the United Empire, so that's good, but Horatio might die out, which I'm okay with as well. So now, yeah, this is kind of interesting, but I love this state of affairs, it's really fun. So our efficiency should be through the roof. Let's just check it real quickly before we end this video. Oh yeah! Almost half a thousand extra efficiency on planets. This is ridiculously good and I'm very happy to see that. And now we're gaining dust, whereas we were losing half K per 10 before I started this alliance thing. So yeah, we're doing rather well. Research wise, what do you want? I kind of want to have upgraded whatchamacallit, carrier ships, but I don't have access to orichalcics, so I'm not necessarily in the mood for that. I can go for Power of the Endless, which isn't necessarily speaking bad, but isn't necessarily speaking all that great either. Not that I complain, of course, but I did say I want to research military trees, so I think I'm gonna get on that right now and just try to get to the latest tree as quickly as possible. We have a good amount of science production as well, but we could also boost that somewhat by going for some more research institutes like the graviton-shielded laboratories. And this will also let me colonize Arctic, which is something I've been missing for a long time. So let's go ahead and grab that. And after we're done with this thing, we're gonna go for deniable operations, because this gives us the ability to construct quantum damped circuits, which is extraordinarily vital for our fleets, in my honest opinion. And then I'll let myself make a choice later, but I'll probably go for advanced game theory and structured antimatter. But we'll wait to see what is going to happen. Now, before I end this video, I want to see if I can get one more fight from the enemy. So, fight at Spica. Will it progress? Will it fail? We're about to find out. Also, I don't think I wanted my ships to be set in this kind of situation, but the enemy ran away anyway. So it doesn't matter. How about you, this? I'm pretty sure the enemy will run away from this battle as well, at least if they are sensible. But if they're not, we're gonna be able to watch one more fight before we move on. And I believe that is exactly going to be the case, because... I mean, it's not going to be the case, because they will run away from me like the cowards they are. We can finish the movement. Let's end it here, because the video was long enough. Ladies and gentlemen, it was PANCZASU, also known as the Mighty Mix Plumber. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you online. Yes, I will see you online. It's a meaningless battle. Bye.